Whoops!
Whoops! Medina! Whoa, what? What the? What? Sea bass in the morning, halibut and rockfish all day long, and then tuna at night on the Freedom Sport Fishing.
Hey, good morning, my friends, and welcome here to Surfside, California, where it is actually raining right now. It's not a heavy mist, it's actually rainfall starting to come down. So here I am, getting soaking wet and enjoying every single moment of it because I'm a little crazy, that's for sure. There is some awesome fishing going on. LA Orange County-based boats now have a legit shot at the Bluefin tuna, as evidenced by that great trip on board the Freedom. It was really a fabulous trip where they're catching sea bass, halibut, rockfish, and then they go out at night and they slam the Bluefin tuna with 18 Bluefin tuna at 90 pounds. Freedom is going again tonight. That should be great. Down in San Diego, we are seeing epic fishing for many of the boats. It has been great at night, and there's a really good daytime signal going on. And also, as we look up in the Channel Islands, occasional really big slams on the white sea bass. Same for LA Orange County-based boats. Tornado had a really great one here recently, and there's halibut everywhere. It's just been really incredible the last few days. We're in that cold water here, and God only knows what lies ahead. One thing is for sure, it's going to be fun, interesting, exciting, and it's going to be right here on the Morning Briefing. Good morning, my friends. Enjoying my coffee in my new coffee cup, thanks to my dear friend Andrew Wynn, who showed up at Big Fish Bait and Tackle yesterday and presented me with this lovely cup. And I cannot thank you enough, Andrew. That means the world to me. First of all, it's good to see you. Secondly, thank you for your kindness and generosity. And third, I'll see you on the 31st because we have a 2-day trip on the Apollo. And oh my God, is that looking really, really good. Hey, how about Jared Davidson? Him and a buddy were looking out off the Mission Beach jetty and seeing yellows bouncing around out there. And he said, man, I'm going to walk out on the jetty and I'm going to take some swim baits and see what I can do. And he tosses out an MC swim bait and ends up with a 45-pound yellowtail. I think that kind of punctuates what kind of year we are looking at this year. It has been absolutely crazy. All right, my friends, do not forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We really appreciate it. Our stats are soaring through the roof, all thanks to all of you. Cannot thank you enough. All right, let's start down in Ensenada where the Pongueros down there are getting a pretty good piece of that bluefin tuna right now. They get good weather, and they are in the ball game. And now this bluefin is starting to react, and as the water temperature is warm and we move into summertime, I think it's going to get better and better and better. That's what I was saying. When we were running into these inconsistency, which loom as a possibility for the near future still, we'll have to watch it and see. But as we were looking at the inconsistencies, I was telling you, and I firmly believe this in my heart, that the bright news is, the good news is that our greatest fishing lies right out there in the future, because as the water warms and perhaps we get this El Nino effect, it's going to get crazy in SoCal and down there in northern Baja California. Let's bring it up and talk about tuna fishing. It has been absolutely wonderful for the bluefin tuna. The night bite has been the right time. There's been some really good night fishing if you can get on the right batch of fish. A lot of that fish is on that 300-gram SK jigs. Also, knife jigs working really well. Whatever your favorite lure is, that's what you want to dump. Sometimes as heavy as 400, but most of the time it seems to be in that 350-gram range. So important, especially novice anglers, that you make a friend with a crew member. When you walk on board one of the sports, it makes a huge difference. And remember, when the captain says drop, you drop. And you drop to the appropriate depth. Remember, Eyes on Line puts out that colored line, changes every 100 yards, so every 100 feet, so you know exactly where you're at. If he says drop 300, you want to be dropping down 325, 350 and coming back up through that fish. kick it into freeze flow if you don't get a bite when you're up there past that 300, and do it again until you hang your trophy beautiful fish. Pegasus on an overnight trip was just 3 short of limits on the bluefin tuna. That is some pretty darn good fishing. And there is a really good signal in the daytime. The Intrepid, they grace our cover of the morning briefing today with a daytime beautiful bluefin that was taken. Sometimes you'll get into a drift on a plunker bite that is really, really good, and other times it doesn't happen, but there is a really good daytime signal. So sometimes you're going to be fly lining with, I want to say 25 to 40, 50 pound fluorocarbon. That is the best way to get it done. Number 20 circle hook's been working really, really well. www.opsonusa.com. They are a fantastic company. Put in FA at checkout and they'll take good care of you. So sometimes you're doing that. Other times you're throwing like those Daiwa Sakana lures, megabait type lures, something like that. And when you're doing that, you're going to want to be fishing 60 to 80 pound. You can fish sinker rigs with, or sinker fish with that with bait. Also, remember, we were listening in on Ryan Boston the other day, and he said, drop your bait down slow, wind it back slow, and you've been getting a lot of bites like that. And then, of course, in the nighttime when you're catching that big, great fish, and there is some bluefin around 200 pounds, and in excess of that, that's when you have to have a 2-speed reel, 100 pound, 130 pound, something like that. So keep that in mind. Independence, 31 anglers, 3-day trip, 120 on the bluefin tuna, 15 of those kelp-hattie yellowtail. Legend with a big trip up to around 80 fish, I believe, on a 2-day trip. I believe Steve Taft had limits of bluefin tuna. Really great fishing. So there has been some conking, and there was some conking again last night. Guys are just starting to run on spots of fish today. We'll see how that goes. And remember, LA, Orange County base boats are getting in on it. That great trip on the Freedom. They are going tonight. The 15 first signups get a free meal. That may have already gone by. Probably has. But they are going tonight. Amigo has a 2-day trip this week, maybe tonight. Can't remember. And also, there is just a lot of other guys. Thunderbird, Davies Locker, they're getting in on it. They can run these combo trips right now, which is absolutely amazing to me. I've been in this business well over 50 years, and I'll tell you, the fact that you can go catch rockfish, sea bass, halibut, and bluefin tuna is just mind-boggling. We are certainly living in great and interesting times. No question about that. One-day boats that leave, full day I should say. Boats that leave in the morning, come back in the evening. Grande, 4 yellowtail, 1 bluefin tuna. San Diego, 41 yellowtail, 4 bluefin tuna. For them, Liberty with 32 anglers at 30 yellow, 6 bluefin tuna. So there is some fish around, and I'm really feeling like there could be an explosion at any point in time because they are seeing a lot. Sometimes it cooperates, sometimes it doesn't. You get on the right bunch that really wants to bite, get into that kind of plunker bite, and you could drift for several hours and pick fish all during that time. Plunker bite. Definition for you new guys is it's a few fish going all the time. Maybe even you go dry at times. So you have one bluefin going, and then you hook another one, and then you go dry, and then you have 3 going, and then you have 2 going, like that. Those kinds of scores are what we are looking at right now. And when the bite is like that, and the fish are a little bit finicky, you definitely want to be changing your bait regularly, choosing a good hot bait, fishing fluorocarbon. All of those things will make a huge difference to your success. So keep that in mind. And as these fish start to move in and deeper into U.S. waters, we'll continue to watch that for you very, very closely. Really exciting stuff as that bluefin is making a surge up. The Pride, what a trip they had on board the Pride. I mean, like we were saying, they're catching halibut, they're catching rockfish, and then they go out at night and they score 24 bluefin tuna for 15 anglers. Man, what tremendous fishing. And the Pride has been all over the fish all season long out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, and they continue their assault. So let's get you up here now and talk island, San Clemente Island. There's a few big yellows out there. There's some good rock fishing, calico bass at times, occasional hit on the white sea bass, but not all that great. Other places have been providing really good action. You know, the Toronado, just the other day, Young's Fishing Tackle was on board. They had a magnificent trip on the sea bass. Dan Burns, I think, was even on there. So you know how crazy things got with Burns out there. Really a great trip for the guys from Young's Fishing Tackle. Happy to see that, and they really put the wood to it. Up in the Channel Islands, we told you about that tremendous trip the Endeavor had on the white sea bass. There's rumblings of that going on again this morning, but I didn't have time to confirm for you all. But I believe the Endeavor is on a bite right now. We'll run that down for you during the day today. They had limits of white sea bass for both days up there. Some big fat halibut, great rock fishing. You know, we've been watching the CJ. They've been doing very well. Other boats have been doing great up there in that neck of the woods. Also, the Coral Sea out of Santa Barbara, 11 halibut. The Endeavor with that big trip, the Aloha Spirit, 10 halibut. Nice shot for them. The Island Fox with 7 halibut. So this has been one of the most extraordinary halibut years I have seen in a long, long time. So that bite continuing up there. Most of that up in the Channel Islands is on the dropper loop. Sometimes you will get into that really shallow water, like 10 feet of water at times, and then you're going to go to that 1/4 ounce pink or orange lead head. That will come in super handy for you. You can also fish a Carolina kind of rig and catch those sea bass that way. Dropper loop when you're in the deeper water, 6 ounce torpedo with a 5/0 Aki twist hook. That's going to work really, really well. We like blacktail hooks. By the way, Sky is fantastic at blacktail hooks. All right, we'll continue to watch this for you very, very closely because it's a very volatile time, and all the guys that are on our Apollo trip here at the end of the month have got to be excited. Not making a call yet, guys. Hang on. Things change, so I don't want to tell you, yeah, we're bluefin tuna today, and we get closer to that date, and we're catching albacore or something like that. Things change in this business. That's what makes it so much fun, and that's why we'll continue to monitor it for you all very, very closely. Hey, I got a contest for you, and the prize is yet to be determined. But if you go on our YouTube channel, put the date and the time that the first sport boat 6-pack albacore will be caught this year. I know you think I'm crazy. You can put that. You're crazy. There won't be any albacore. Or you can put the exact time and date that you think the first albacore will be taken. I'll run down some prizes, and then make sure you take a screenshot of your pick, because I'm going to leave it to you to run down your date and send it to me. I'm not going to have time to go through all of the responses I think we're going to get on this. So if you'd like to play, put on the date and the time of the first albacore caught by a Southern California-based sport boat operation. Not a private boat this time. Wait a minute, let me think about this. Oh, shit, we'll throw private boats in there too. Private boat or sport boat, either way. And you're going to have some documentation, photos, and everything else. So we'll come up with some prize for you all. All right, my friends, some really good bluefin tuna fishing. There's still halibut and sea bass everywhere. We are looking down the barrel of an incredible season. Kind of a weird morning here this morning with this rain. It's kind of a heavy mist right now. A little breeze coming in, but things are looking good offshore. We'll continue to watch it for you very, very closely. Be back with more updates today. Once again, Andrew, thank you so much for your kindness. I absolutely love this thing. Have a great day, my friends, and I hope to see you really, really soon.